Today I'm going to teach you how to make interesting patterns on the clock. Now because this doesn't have stickers or tiles like a normal 3x3 where you have like a color, on regular cubes you can make like cool patterns like this where you can see a difference within the colors. And admittedly on clock it doesn't look as great, but they are still kind of cool. Just a disclaimer, if you do know how to solve this puzzle, then I actually recommend trying to just give this a go and try and figure out for yourself. Because if you use the same method that you would normally use while solving a clock, but you just solve it into various patterns, then it will be a lot easier. But in this video, I'm going to be teaching kind of more algorithmic solutions for anyone that doesn't really want to work this out on their own. Although you are going to have to get quite familiar on how the puzzle works, because sometimes it might be a little intuitive. So I'm going to be showing 4 patterns, and the first one is pretty simple. It's a checkerboard pattern. We're going to do like 2 pins and 2 moves on the front side, and then 2 pins and 2 moves on the back side. So we're going to choose 2 diagonal sides. So let's say we choose these 2. So we're going to put one of the pins up. Let's say we do the top right one, and then we want to turn that side 180 degrees, or turn it 6 hours, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we put up this pin and turn this 6 hours. Now we go to the diagonal, put it up, and then turn that side 6 hours. Alright, so we were using this pin and this pin. So when we turn it over, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use the pins that we were using. So those were these ones. If you look back, we were using this top right pin, and it becomes the top left pin when you go back. So we're going to do this one, and do 180 degrees, and then this bottom right, because it's like diagonal, and 180 degrees. And then that's it. That's what the checkerboard pattern is, I guess. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And it's the same on the other side. And if you want, you can turn this like any amount and it will still kind of look like a checkerboard pattern. So what we're going to do for our next pattern is actually make the checkerboard pattern on this side, turn 180 degrees or 6 hours, and look at the other side. We've got this. It's kind of like a dot pattern where you've got all of these going one way and this going the other way. And then if you want to do the same thing on the other side, we just put all these pins up, turn 180 degrees. And now we've got like a dot pattern on both sides. So remember, if you have all the pins down and you're turning aside, only the corners move. But you have them all up, everything moves. And to undo this, it's pretty simple. Just do this. Just make it the checkerboard pattern on both sides. Like that. And then you just basically do the same thing. So 180 degrees, and we use these 2 pins. Just going to rotate over. And there you go. Alright, here's the next pattern. This one I like to call the in and out, and you'll see why. So we're not going to focus on the middle one because it kind of ruins the pattern, but I'll get to that later as well. So how to make this pattern. So we're going to go through a few patterns of turning. So here's the first kind of thing. So you start with a soft clock, all pins are down, and we're going to put one of these top pins up. Let's choose the right one. So if we choose the right one, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 hours out. So when I say that, I mean like 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to switch the pin. So we're going to put the left one out. And then with our left hand, we're going to go 3 hours out. So this is like out, this is in. Next, what we want to do is we want to put both pins up and then turn it 6 hours. So that's 180 degrees. Then we want to put the bottom 2 pins up and then turn the whole thing 180 degrees. Alright, let's turn it over. And we're going to do the same thing. So right side up, 3 hours out. Left side out, 3 hours out. And both pins up, 180, or 6 hours, and all pins up, go back. So we've got to this stage, and what we're going to do is solve the corners. So we're going to choose one of these 2 top pins. Let's choose the left one, and we're going to put that one down. So if you choose the left pin, you're going to be turning with your right hand. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the left pin down, and then we're going to go 5 out. So with our right hand, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. Then put the left pin up, and then go 5 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing, but kind of like mirrored. So we're going to put this down, and we're going to go 5 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then put the pin up, and then go back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, now we're going to do the bottom 2 corners. So let's put the right one down, and you can still turn with your left hand. You can turn this one, I guess, but it's still the same thing. And this time you want to go 5 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and now we're going to switch, so left pin down instead. And then you want to go 5 in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pin up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 2 phases of this pan, I guess. So this is the out version, and as you can see, everything's going out. I think it looks quite cool, and you get the same thing on the other side as well. But the cool thing is, if you put all the pins up, and you turn everything by 6 hours, or 180, you get the in phase, which, as you can see, everything's pointing in. And this is where I say we ignore the middle one, because it doesn't really look good with the middle one. As you can see, like, everything's pointing into the middle. So we just ignore the middle one, so it looks better. I guess if you do this, if you look on the other side, it looks kind of weird. The last pattern is kind of like a circling pattern. So the first kind of stage, is you do basically like the edges of the previous pattern. So what I mean is you do like this stuff. This is like the first part of the previous pattern. We do like 3 in, 3 out, and then you do like that. So basically, it's this. You get to this part, and then from now on, you'll do something different. What I want you to do is turn all the clocks. You pull the pins up, and you turn them either 90 degrees clockwise or anti-clockwise. Or in other words, 3 hours clockwise or anti-clockwise. So in this case, I'll do clockwise. So now what we want to do is we want to match up each edge with a corner. And it's going to be the one that's more clockwise. What I mean is, we'll take this edge for example. The corner, if we draw like a circle going clockwise, which is this way, we have this edge and then this corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to match up this edge with this corner. So let's do that. So we put this corner's pinned down and then match it up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to say match this edge with this corner. So we're going to put this corner's pinned down. I'll put this back up because we want 3 pins up at all times. And then we're going to match this edge with the corner, so it's like that. So now we're going to match this edge with this corner, so we'll go like this. And then we want to match this edge with this corner, so we'll put this corner's pinned down. So the corner that we're trying to match, we put its pin down. And then the last one, we have this corner, so we put its pin down. And we're trying to match up this edge with this corner. And then there it is. So as you can see, we have them going actually, kind of funny, in an anti-clockwise form. And actually this pattern looks kind of cool from all iterations. So if you do like 90 degrees, they're all like pointing out like that. If you do another 90 degrees, these two are like pointing the same way. And then here, they're all pointing in the middle, but like not at each other. They're all kind of going clockwise. I don't know, use your imagination or something. And obviously, it doesn't look as great on the other side. But sometimes you can kind of get it to work. Let me know if you found that interesting, because let's be real, who cares about clock patterns? But I don't know, maybe they can look cool. And if you do figure out something else, like another cool clock pattern, then please let me know in the comments below. I mean, they're really just 9 circles with arrows in them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.